Dr. Sumit.
Sir, it is right. They are
Yeah.
mostly the second year, sir.
Right. So we are talking with the right people because normally, whenever a fresh graduate passes out and start applying for the jobs, they start preparing for the interview last moment. But if today, during second year or third year, you visualize that you are going to do job in pharma industry and what you should prepare for, then you get 2 3 years of span to prepare for start of better career, prepare for the interviews, prepare for getting selected right in the first interview. So to start with, there are three things. Of course, the tip itself indicates three things: TIP. T is trainings, I is internship programs, and P is professional contacts. Now, this is not something different I'm talking. Most of the students normally know that they should go to industry and do some industrial training. They also, students, this generation is definitely smarter than previous generation. They use social media to a great extent. But if you are using Facebook, Instagram for your friend circles, connecting to your friend circles, there are professional social media like LinkedIn where you can get connected to the industry professionals, and that will help you in getting into the job. So, how to use that from my perspective, I'm going to tell you. When I say trainings, there are different trainings nowadays at a very cost feasible rates available online, which will support your education. For example, if you are a pharmacy graduate and you want to do your career, say in quality assurance, you have certain trainings like what is GMP, uh, how a quality assurance works, what are validations in the industry. So these are short training courses available. You can go through LinkedIn Learning, you can go through Udemy. You will get short courses, even starting from 300 rupees 2 hours training session to as high as 2000 rupees with a big training course. And you all get certificate for undergoing such trainings. Now, understand that whenever you will pass out your pharmacy education or graduation, and when you step into industry for the jobs, obviously interviewers will expect that you have some industry exposure. You have some background knowledge of industry. Now, college institutes, they definitely try to keep the content of their syllabus such that it is useful in the industry. But if you want to explore some specific area like quality assurance, production, project management, you can do certain certification courses externally, which will definitely support your education. So, how many of you, just let us use the chat box again, how many of you have done already some additional certification courses by now? You can put again yes in the chat box if you have done it, or even you can raise hands, that's not a problem. How many of you have already used the external training courses related to pharma industry or to increase your knowledge? Okay, good. As I said, the students of this generation are definitely smarter than our generation. You people have already using those trainings. Now, um, in pharma industry, what trainings you should acquire, that you will come to know if you go to some industry and see closely what is happening in the industry. If there are 20 25 students, they have already undergone such trainings, others they should think of doing such trainings on Udemy, LinkedIn. You can search the subject of your choice. For example, pharmaceutical water systems, you may be willing to understand how it works. HVAC system, clean room practices, you can good manufacturing practices. You have lot many short courses. So coming to next is internship programs. everybody knows that internship programs will help them, but I have seen most of the institutes, they make a compulsion of 1 or 2 months training at least so that students get exposed to the industry. I would say let us not wait for the final year to get your internships done. Right from first year, you can utilize your summer vacations, Diwali vacations, 15 days, 1 month, whenever possible. You should visit different industries. You should also try to understand different machines, different areas of pharma industry. Sometimes you can go to quality control laboratory. Some vacation you can try to go to tablet manufacturing, understand how tablet compression machine works. Now, the question comes, whenever you go to internship programs in the industry, what you should try to understand. Normally, students, I have also seen students coming to company, whatever they want to understand, they understand. But what will help them to get into job, that they should be knowing already. And that's what I am trying to explain you all here. Whenever you go to internship programs, five, six things you should focus upon. First, what are the techniques, technologies used in the pharma industry? Because theoretically, you might have learned the how tablet compression machine works, but when you go to the machine in the industry, you can see how it is automated, how PLCs are used, how what are the automated parameters, what are the critical process parameters, how they are used to control the quality of the batches. What is the latest technology trend in the, for example, compression machine? What are the new technologies coming up? What are the problems being faced by different machines? What are the current observations? What are the current regulations industries following? For example, you might have heard pharma industry is getting approved by US FDA or UK authorities. So what are those US FDA guidelines? You can try to understand those so that whenever you will appear first time for your job, and when you say that you have done some industrial training, interviewer is likely to ask you what you have understood through the training. So you should be knowing what you have understood, how tablet compression machine, for example, works, what are the principles, what is the current technology, what is the future technology, what changes are going on in the industry, what regulations are being followed, what are typical observations industry gets during external regulatory audits. So these are the things you should focus on during internship. It's not that you just went, stood there near the machine, tried to understand as per your wish, and came back getting certificate, becoming happy to get a certificate. Getting certificate does not increase knowledge. You may get a certificate of 1 month internship, but what you have acquired as a knowledge is going to be displayed by you during the interview. So to display that, you need to understand, and this is how you should plan your internship programs. Now, as I said, every vacation you should try to do this, or whenever you have time, 15 days, 20 days. Now, imagine after 4 or 5 years of industrial, your graduation period, every semester, if you do at least 1 month training, within 4 years, you are likely to get 8 months of training, internship experience in total. 8 months you can utilize on different machines, or if you are having a clear goal in mind, for example, you want to work only in quality assurance, then you 8 months can be utilized to understand all aspects of quality assurance. What are validations, what is GMP, what are 6 pillars of GMP system, what are the regulations, what are the GMP guideline requirements in pharma industry, and how they are implemented. So within 8 months you collect so many things that you can very well display in your CV that you have already exposure of 8 months, which is having a little experience than having no experience at all. So when you have little experience, obviously interviewer feels that this fellow can start giving outcome immediately if he is put on the job. If you are a totally fresher with no exposure in the industry, an interviewer may feel that you may be taking time to understand the processes, time to understand the pharma systems. So ensure that you do maximum internships and collect so much of experience that you are able to speak up on your experience in the industry. That experience may be a very best level experience, no matter if you are not becoming expert in something. That's not expected. But rather than not having any knowledge of industry, to have 6 8 months of experience in the industry is as good as you are an experienced candidate, not a fresh. So use that opportunity so that you create a positive impression during your job interview. Third thing is using the professional contacts. Now, again, I request all of you to use the chat box and tell me how many of you are active members on LinkedIn specifically, because it's a professional network. You can say yes if you are active on LinkedIn. Three participants raised only hand. 9, 10, 13, okay, 14. See, LinkedIn is a professional network. You get all industry professionals like me on LinkedIn to whom you can connect. You can text message and ask if you have some queries. Now, as a student, you may feel that why, if you student as a student, you ask me some question on LinkedIn messaging, you may have a hesitation that why somebody should answer your question. But for me, your query might be a simple thing to answer in 2 lines. So I would like to answer your questions. It's not a big thing for me. For you, it's a big thing to understand answer of some question you have in your mind. But for me, it's not. So I'm definitely going to answer your questions, or for that matter, any industry professional is likely to answer if he is equally active on LinkedIn. So I would emphasize to use LinkedIn. Those who have not used this platform, they should start connecting with industry professionals. They can also connect with your college seniors if you have seniors in the industry. And whenever you have such professional connects, you can ask them any opportunities available. You can ask them what's going on in the industry. You can have many questions about the industry, which you can definitely get answers from these connections. You can also forward your CVs to them if they see any opportunity. And during internship programs, also, you are likely to get connected with some industry professionals. So to keep them in touch with them, you can use the LinkedIn so that during internship you build the connection, contacts, and then later you remain in contact with them on LinkedIn. So this is how you can use trainings, internship programs, and professional contacts. In totality, these three things are going to ensure that your CV will display a good exposure to industry. Your CV will display that your efforts to learn and grasp more things about pharma industry through trainings or internship, and your professional connects will tell you where are the opportunities available. If somebody is of help, they are going to extend their help to you, or you can ask them suggestions like what should be your career path. If you are not clear after B pharma or M pharma what you should do, you can ask these such questions to such connections. Even I am active on LinkedIn and I am sharing videos for fresh graduates like you or students like you, how they should prepare for interview. I am also available on my own YouTube channel, which I started during lockdown, specifically to share what you should prepare, how students should prepare, how students should visualize their career. And what I'm talking, these all are shared in my YouTube videos. If you want any more information which can be shared which can be helpful for students, you can connect with me and tell me what more you want. I will definitely try to post useful videos more and more in coming days. So you can also connect with me on YouTube. And there are few industry professionals in pharma who have got their YouTube channels on GMP learnings. You can also go through them and see what is going on in industry, what are the guidelines industry is following. Going to next. One more thing is of extremely important is the communications in the industry. Now, most of the students, as an interviewer, whenever I interview candidates, I see to it that interview candidate talks in English. If somebody asks me as an interviewer that, sir, can I talk in Hindi or local language? I always say no to them for one reason, that why, even if you are poor in English, no matter. I was also educated in a Marathi medium school, and I was also having the same struggle. But over a period of time, when I had too many interactions with foreigners, I stayed with foreign students, I worked with foreigners, I was forced to talk in English, and slowly I could develop my English, spoken English. So it's not necessary that you are excellent in spoken English today, but you should definitely try to put all your efforts and display your efforts during interview. If some student is talking trying to talk in English in front of me during interview, but he is not having a good English, I still feel that he is struggling to develop. I still feel as an interviewer that he is putting all his efforts, and that definitely gives a positive impression for me as an interviewer looking at his struggle. So let us ensure that we display our efforts of improving communication, no matter if you are not good in English. Now, why you need to have good spoken or written English, there is reason for that. Whenever you enter industry or corporates, most of the written communications are in English, spoken communications are in English. You may have foreign clients which you need to handle, so you have to be in line with what are expectations on your job. If you are poor in English, say written English, and you enter in the job, you write some reports in your office work, and your boss keeps on correcting those reports. So, as a boss, he may get difficulties, or he may have to put his extra time on improving written reports by you. So that may be not be liked by your boss. You may get your performance also may get affected, and that will not help you to grow in career even if you enter the industry. It's not only important to get your first job. After you get your first job, your next priority is to grow by experience, grow by knowledge, grow by even designation to earn more money, because ultimately we all work for money. That's the bitter truth, that everybody needs money, everybody needs growth. So, for that reason, at least you need to visualize today itself that you need to improve your communications. If you feel that you are not good at English, start improving it right from today. You have a span of 3 4 years before you enter the industry. You may join some courses, and it's not a you need not have a very fine English, but at least base level spoken and written English should be fine, and that needs only the correct grammar for writing reports well. So try to understand this as early as possible and try to improve upon this. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, and of course, you can go through my YouTube channel. I am speaking on different aspects of, specifically, I have made a playlist of 7 8 videos which talk, where I have spoken about how you should make your CV. What makes your CV attractive? Now, for example, if you write a one-page, two-page CV, nobody is likely to read each and everything written in the CV. But if you write a two-liner header at the top, mentioning that you are a fresh B Pharma graduate, undergone industrial training of 8 months, having knowledge of, say, tablet completion machine, quality assurance aspects, capsule weighing machine, so many things you can write at top header line that you have exposure of this, so that anybody reading at those top 2 3 line header will understand that you are useful to the industry, and then it will make the magic happen, that you will get interview calls fast, you will get uh, to enter entry in the industries fast during interviews. And one thing is very definite: if you are knowledgeable, you don't need much preparations. It will anyway get displayed during interview. Nobody can hide the knowledge that is going to happen. So try to acquire most of the knowledge when you are student. Try to visualize that where you want to go and which area you want to work. If you have a specific goal clear in mind, which area you want to work in pharma, you can try building up those knowledge of that a particular area right from today, and try to imagine that your CV will one day, whenever you are fresh graduate, your CV will have a top two header line that pharmacy graduate with 8 months, 7 8 months of industry exposure, having done some additional training courses on GMP or uh, uh, regulatory guidelines, or even laboratory automation if you want to go in QC laboratories. So that is going to create a positive impression. So imagine what will be written on your CV so that the industry gets attracted to you, even if you are a fresher graduate. And compared to a totally fresh graduate having no industry exposure, how your CV will stand in the crowd. Just imagine that and work upon these aspects. I think from my side, this is sufficient for today. I hope you all people are finding these tips useful. I have so many things to speak upon, but for today, I feel this much should be sufficient. You can definitely go through my YouTube channel. If you get connected, you will be able to see multiple videos. Coming days, I am also going to talk about what are validations in detail, like what is validation, what is qualification, what are the key aspects of validation. You people will get to learn about those in coming days. So you can subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more. There are 6 7 more videos specifically on interview preparations, but that you may need as and when you get graduated in pharmacy. I think that's all from my side. Over to Dr. Sumit.
Yeah, sir, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts on the entire scenario of the pharmaceutical industry as of now, and what actually students should emphasize and what actually students should do so that they can shape up their career after completion of their B Farm, and what they should do during the entire tenure of the 4 years. That,
Right.
as you emphasized on the internship, as you emphasized on the communication skills, are the basic pillars of the pharma industry, and these are the basic pillars that students should undergo and take emphasis on that.
Right.
Uh, uh, Saurabh?
Yes, sir. Sir, one question is here.
Yes.
रोहित अपना कैमरा ऑफ कर ले बेटा.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, camera. Sir, one question is here by Dr. Ram, sir.
Okay.
At present, the pharma industry is totally focused on allopathy drug only. Do you think
Right.
in future pharma for Ayurvedic drug will be also required?
Ayurvedic pharma already they have started grasping the market and developing. The thing which is clearly distinguished is in allopathy drugs there are a lot of regulations already in place. So allopathy pharma industry they have to undergo uh, extreme scrutiny during audits by the agencies, FDAs, and all that. And that level of GMP may not be expected in herbals, but GMP certifications are expected. But since they are herbal and from natural origin, there are certain aspects which are not very clear in herbals. Like if you see in allopathy drugs, there are impurity studies done, the characterizations to identify impurities. In herbal, that level of research is still going on. So, but yes, herbal has got its own importance, and herbal has got now regulations in place. So, slowly, herbal regulations are also going to increase, and industries are taking interest in herbal medicines. Earlier, only allopathy drugs had export market, but now foreign countries are also adopting herbal. So now export business of herbals is going to pick up in coming times. So definitely there is a scope on herbals, but research work of allopathy is huge. You know, most of the aspects of every allopathic drug, right from their unknown impurities, so many characterization from where that impurity gets carried forward, right from bulk chemical. So many things are known about allopathy, which probably herbal research is still going on. I mean, there are a lot of things are not very clear. One best example I always see is in allopathy, there is a regulation on metal impurities now. How many metal impurities? There are 20, 25 metal impurities, cobalt, nickel, and what should be their level. But if you go to herbal drugs, you really do not know from where metal is coming, and you do not know how that metal can be controlled in the uh, raw materials of herbals, because those are natural origin. So there are a lot of gaps compared to allopathy. Allopathy we have studied to a very great extent. But whichever area you work, herbal definitely has got a bright future. People are working on doing research on herbals. So definitely it has got good future.
Uh,
So
Gaurav, one question I'll ask, sir.
yeah.
Sir, like about the herbal we are talking, Germans are leading in the single plant drug standardization. And even the Chinese medicines, they are dominating in the world in the traditional medicines. But why not the Ayurvedic medicines, Ayurvedic drugs are dominating the world? Only during the lockdown, this pandemic of the around the about the corona, we are leading to boost the immunities only, but not the other disease. So, as you are in the industry, so what is the better chance for Ayurveda to flourish in the world?
See, prima facie, I see two reasons. As I said, research of the knowing the detailed characterization of allopathy is a huge work, and it's not that level of work in herbals. Second thing, export. Like foreign countries, they have imported from India a lot of allopathic drugs. The foreigners have now started realizing importance of Indian Ayurvedic medicines. So export, as far as see, any industry will see what is best business to do, and that's if they are earning in dollars in exports, they would like to manufacture whatever earns more money. That's a business. So any industry would be interested whatever gets exported and gives a good income. And herbal medicine somehow had less export till date, but you might have seen in Indian herbals or Ayurveda have really captured well and good attention during lockdown, and people have started realizing this gives an opportunity to export more herbals in future. And
Yes, sure.
Looking forward, that magic may happen now, but basic thing was two things. One was export business, export oriented was more on allopathic because foreigners were not trusting Ayurveda in the past. They were trusting, but business, if you compare the business wise, figure wise, it was definitely allopathy was more. Second thing is people want immediate relief, which allopathy gives. Ayurveda has got long-term benefits. So people, as a patient, may not have patience. So as a proactive and preventive measure, Ayurveda will do good. But today, if I am suffering from heart disease, with Ayurveda, I am not going to get relief within few days. But with allopathy, I am going to get relief immediately. And that is what is patient psychology to prefer allopathy over herbal medicine. That's one aspect. So I think broadly these are the two aspects.
So ideally, I think mix of both can work better.
Yeah, mix of both can work better.
Yeah.
For preventive and proactive approach, Ayurveda will get adopted soon because
Yes.
people have understood during lockdown that it's not that after you get a disease you should take care of yourself. It should be proactive approach. So definitely it is going to catch now.
Sir, one more question on the behalf of my students. Like my student having the mixed culture, अब आधे हिंदी मीडियम से आधे इंग्लिश मीडियम से हैं. इवन जो इंग्लिश मीडियम में उनकी इंग्लिश भी हिंदी जैसी रहती है मैक्सिमम.
राइट.
तो ये स्टूडेंट जो है जिनको पढ़ते हैं तो एक इंग्लिश में इनको पढ़ने में प्रॉब्लम आती है.
राइट.
और एक हिच रहती है कहीं ना कहीं कोई चीज को क्वेश्चन हिंदी में इसलिए पूछा क्योंकि जो हिच रहती है वो कैसे दूर कर पाए लोग जिससे उनको एक कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डिंग एक्सरसाइज हो जाए. अभी इनके पास कॉन्फिडेंस बहुत कम रहता है क्योंकि इंग्लिश नहीं आने की वजह से. उसमें आप कुछ टिप दीजिए.
मेरे ख्याल से सभी स्टूडेंट्स के लिए हेजिटेशन जो रहता है कि मैं पुअर डिस्प्ले दूंगा हिंदी में बात करने की वजह से, वो हेजिटेशन से पहले बाहर आओ क्योंकि हमको हमारा करियर बनाना है. आपका टूटा फूटा ही सही इंग्लिश, जो इंटरव्यू में मैं इंटरव्यू कैंडिडेट को हमेशा बोलता हूँ, टॉक इन इंग्लिश, लेट मी अंडरस्टैंड वेदर यू वांट टू ट्राई और नॉट. जब भी इंटरव्यू कैंडिडेट बात करता है वो इसलिए पूछता है कि सर मैं हिंदी में बात करूं तो चलेगा क्या, क्योंकि ही हिमसेल्फ इज नॉट कंफर्टेबल. उसको लग रहा है कि मैं टूटी फूटी इंग्लिश बोल रहा हूं तो इंटरव्यूअर ये समझ रहा है कि इसकी कम्युनिकेशन घटिया है. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. यू शुड ट्राई टू डेवलप. हेजिटेशन यूट्यूब चैनल में जब मैं शुरू किया मुझे भी हेजिटेशन थी कि पूरी दुनिया बोलेगी तो मेरे एस्थेटिक कैसे दिखेंगे. मैं आई एम ऑल्सो फ्रॉम ए प्योरली मराठी मीडियम. ये तो एक्सपीरियंस के साथ मेरी इंग्लिश डेवलप हुई है. सो आई एम द बेस्ट एग्जांपल टू सी कि आप भी उस लेवल में पहुंच सकते हो. बट हेजिटेशन में अंदर के अंदर रहोगे तो कुछ नहीं होगा. यू हैव टू कम आउट ऑफ योर हेजिटेशन एंड स्पीक अप. ट्राई स्पीकिंग इन इंग्लिश. 3-4 चीजें हैं. यू मे बी डॉक्टर जैन, आई कैन सजेस्ट, आई कैन गिव यू एन एग्जांपल. इन industry also we get many of my colleagues not able to speak in English. तो हम क्या करते थे कि जो भी मीटिंग होता था वीकली उसमें हमने एक चीज रखी थी कि कंपल्शन टू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश. टूटा फूटा ही सही क्योंकि सब अपने ही साथी है तो यहाँ किस चीज की हेजिटेशन. और कोई यदि हिंदी में बात करने की कोशिश करता तो हम 5 रुपए 10 रुपए फाइन करते थे. उसका पर्पज ये था कि पुट अ प्रेशर. और हमारा एज अ बॉस we used to put that pressure in the meeting कि बॉस 5 रुपए फाइन लूंगा if you speak even one हिंदी वर्ड. चलेगा टूटा फूटा बोलो बट बोलो. तो उन पे प्रेशर बिल्ड होके वो एफर्ट शुरू हो जाते हैं. जहां पे वो गड़बड़ करता है वहां एक्सपीरियंस पर्सन उसको हेल्प कर देता है अपने कलीग्स में. मे बी सच टिप्स डॉक्टर जैन, आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट टू यूज सच थिंग्स कि बच्चे लोग ट्राई करो जब भी किसी फोरम में बोल रहे हो इंग्लिश बोलने की. चलेगा टूटा फूटा. अपने ही दोस्त लोगों के साथ बात कर रहे हो तो टूटा फूटा चलेगा. लेट अस नॉट हैव दैट हेजिटेशन.
करेक्ट सर.
हेजिटेशन हो सकती है, दोस्तों में हेजिटेशन नहीं हो. तो ऐसा कोई फोरम क्रिएट करे जिसमें इंग्लिश बोलना कंपल्शन हो, या इवन क्लासरूम में हिंदी में क्वेश्चन ही नहीं पूछे. प्रोफेसर कैन से आस्क, ट्राई टू आस्क इन इंग्लिश. दैट कल्चर यू कैन स्टार्ट. दिस हैज हेल्प्ड इन इंडस्ट्री. वी हैव एक्सपीरियंस दैट 1-2 साल में लोग थोड़ा टूटे फूटे से फ्लुएंट में आ जाते हैं we have to help them. So that can be, but hesitation ना रखें. आप हिंदी में बोले कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. इंडस्ट्री चाहती है कि आप नॉलेजेबल हो. इंडस्ट्री ये नहीं चाहती कि आप बहुत अच्छे इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग हो. बट यस, आपको कहीं ना कहीं परफॉर्मेंस में वो हेल्प करता है इफ यू आर गुड इन इंग्लिश. एज आई सेड, यदि आप रिपोर्ट नहीं लिख पा रहे हो काम की अच्छे इंग्लिश में, और तो आपके बॉस को उसको करेक्ट करते बैठना पड़ रहा है, वो वहां पे परफॉर्मेंस में प्रॉब्लम आती है. सो अभी टाइम है स्टूडेंट्स के पास. बेसिक इंग्लिश ग्रामर की कोई कोचिंग करके सीख सकता है. डॉक्टर जैन, एक और चीज मैं सजेस्ट करना चाहूंगा कि गिव अ स्टेज फॉर देम टू गिव इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग से किसी सब्जेक्ट पे वो 2 या 3 मिनट इंग्लिश में स्टेज पे आके बात करे. लेट हिम डेयर टू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश, टूटे फूटे ही सही. उसका वीडियो करके दिखाए कि वो कहाँ गड़बड़ हो रहा है. कोई उसको दिखा सके कि, और 1-2 बार अपॉर्चुनिटी फिर से बात करने की देते हैं कि करेक्शन करके, तो स्लोली दे स्टार्ट इम्प्रूविंग. मैं ये क्यों सजेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, बिकॉज इन मुंबई आई हैव सीन वन ऑफ माय नेबर यूज्ड टू टेक इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग क्लासेस and he used to apply this. He used to put video on the WhatsApp chat कि इसका स्पीकिंग ऐसा रहा. कुछ स्टूडेंट्स रो देते थे देख के कि मैं बहुत पुअर साबित हो रहा हूँ, बट दैट वाज देयर फर्स्ट स्पीच. स्लोली वो डेवलप हो जाते हैं, एंड कहाँ पे गलतियां कर रहे हैं वो कोई गाइड करता है उनको, तो वो डेवलप हो जाते हैं. बेसिकली हेजिटेशन से बाहर आ जाए, क्योंकि हमको हमारा करियर बनाना है. दुनिया हंस रही है तो दुनिया पहले तो हंसती नहीं है, क्योंकि सभी के साथ कुछ वीकनेस होती है, और हंसती है तो इट्स आफ्टर ऑल ये मेरा करियर है तो मैं इंप्रूव करना चाहता हूँ, तो हेजिटेशन नहीं रखे. दैट्स द एम इट शुड हैव.
So good, you had given the detail how they can improve themselves, and most important thing, I think they must have that willpower to improve themselves.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir, for being such a nice presentation, informative. Even I have noted down many things to just improve my students, so they will have a bright and better career. I have noted down everything, whatever you have given the points, although it is in the YouTube. But for my personal points, to keep it in mind always and try to improve my student. Thank you, sir. Maybe again sometime I'll call you again. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you, Dr. Sumit. Thank you all for joining and listening me patiently. Thank you very much.
Sir, it's entirely my pleasure that you have taken so much pain and spare your so much valuable time, and that too sitting in the office and taking the lectures for the students.
It was my pleasure, doctor. Thank you.
And sir, sparing your time and valuable suggestion to the students, and we will try to inculcate all these values in the students so that they can be industry ready as soon as they complete their graduation. And sir, it was very nice to hear you, and sir, we will be soon looking forward for your more lectures in the
Sure, definitely, doctor.
Sir, with your permission, should I end the meeting?
Yeah, just end the meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.